YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Justice. Come back at y'all on another personal read, another collective energy read. I hope this finds y'all at a resonating time in y'all's day. Remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. Energy is timeless, so if it's finding you, it's meant to find you. If you need a personal, hit up Shamika-san with a C and Shamika@gmail.com. Without further ado, all likes, comments, shares, and subscribe. Super thanks, so very appreciate it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Angels of the highest of white light, please bestow upon me with clear and concise channel messages from my divine collective. Remove any distorted, interrupting energy for that of the viewer or myself. Thank you, Nasha. What do they need to hear? Nurture your gifts. First card, following out, you are special. There's a need for somebody validating your existence is significant. Maybe you've been gaslighted all your life. Maybe you thought you were crazy. Maybe you thought you were this. Maybe you thought you were that. Maybe you just had a different mission. Maybe you had gifts that people were freaked out about. There's a sense of like a distorted view of one's uniqueness. There's a distorted view of one's gifts. There's a distorted view, whether it's outside of yourself and inside of yourself, or both. Internalized from outside of yourself, internalized from within yourself. Both. It's significant. The high priestess energy, intuition. Whoever I'm tapping into, you always had a powerful intuition. You always had answers provided for you that you didn't or shouldn't have kind of known otherwise, right? With distorted femininity, I feel like this triggers those that a lot of range of different triggers, like a general theme of someone's life, like a distorted femininity, those that may be tapped in, may not be tapped in, but use that spiritual essence for not the best, right? There's some sense of those type of people being very polarized and triggered by you. And for whoever I'm tapping into, if you never had the validation yourself as to how clear your channeling was and how clear your intuition was, it's easy to gaslight yourself and co-assimilate or coerce yourself into those that assume to have the same kind of stance as you. And I'm getting like this position like someone's been projected on a lot in their life. And so they didn't really see themselves clear. They didn't really see the jurisdiction of what the Most High really bestowed upon them in the clearest vision, because it was tainted by others that either similar experiences, maybe not similar experiences, but the experiences of others is significant. The perspectives of others, the perspectives of society is significant for somebody tapped into this message. With pity parties, there's something about having a shameful perspective is what I'm getting on that, of self growing up. Or, not everybody activates, as a child, not every it's just different, but this awareness, these abilities, these ways of being, this ways of channeling, this connection to source, this connection to yourself, whatever that is. I think somebody or a few people in my collective have been trained and taught to not only dim it down, not only bind it down. Of course, societally speaking, it's almost naturally, systematically kind of put into place for these type of ways of being, or this type of creativity, or this type of open-spirited, or open mind, to not even be able to express itself fully in this type of 3D realm, right? Because it's so dense. So there's a sense of like somebody's fluidity or somebody's lightness, their light body was shamed because it was perceived as something dark, demonic, satanic, witchy. Witchy is a big theme. Many past people regret how they treated you. I think a lot of people are coming to the same awakening that you are, whoever I'm tapping into this message. That's an energetic law of correspondence. They say when you come into to the awareness of something, that means someplace else, someone else is, right? Another consciousness is also mirroring the same evolution of exchange. With the hermit energy, there's a significance on, you've probably been a hermit all your life. You may resonate with being a Virgo, but there's something about purification. You purifying those old ideals of self, purifying people's old subjective views of you. societal views of self. With the hermit energy, there may be a need to hermit, and take time now. But I'm picking up on a general theme that you may have been isolated a lot of your life, or you may have isolated away from others a lot of your life due to not feeling understood, due to not feeling reciprocated in that energy, because you didn't really feel saw, right? Or seen. I said saw. Maybe something your one-sided competitors are ashamed of themselves, so something that they saw or perceived of you has made them shift their perspective of you. I've had that similar message in previous ones. Something that somebody saw or perceived you to do has changed their perspective of you, which may have gave you the same tower moment in terms of maybe I'm not this, maybe I'm not this, maybe I'm this, maybe this is not this. This is something for somebody that really was like programmed to think differently of themselves than what the Most High had planned for you, right? They try to take your kindness for weakness. Maybe this was a general theme of your life. Maybe people looked at you as this and that because you were this and that. I'm getting this kind of like finite kind of stronghold, like a similar message that people, like a cap that people try to put onto you, in terms of when they see this or see this strong essence of you, see this about you, then this must mean that. This must correlate to that. And a lot of people have run into a lot of roadblocks with you, whoever I'm picking up on, because of these things not correlating to whatever they connotated that as, right? On a logical level. Vampires need your validation to even be a vampire. So maybe you've gotten harassed, shamed. Humiliation is significant because of these differences in your psyche, right? There's something, no weapon formed against you will prosper. This is what the embarrassment comes from, the shame. The shamefulness comes from a lot of people outside of yourself, which you could be feeling in the internalization coming up that you may have internalized with yourself earlier on in your life or from these people. Take what resonates, but it's a corresponding effect. You are going through a spiritual initiation, so you're just alchemizing this energy. You may have grown up like the prophet Joseph was. Joseph was sold out to slavery by his family. He was anointed and gifted from the jump at birth, sold out to slavery by his family, ends up becoming royalty because the actual royalty bestows upon him as a prisoner, and finds that he has some type of, at that time, what was connotated as an anointing, an oil that the Most High put upon him, which could represent so many different things that he was gifted in, right? We're not going into that. Five of Swords energy. So you have people that were in a Five of Swords energy to put you down and out, like that kind of energy. Make you look like you were this, that, make you feel. There's something significant about how you felt about yourself, how you feel about yourself. With tall woman, people didn't want you to stand tall in your spiritual abilities. A tall woman may be significant, but people didn't want you to stand tall in your spirituality and your nurturing of self and your creativity, because the femininity, that's a feminine aspect of self too. But you have helped so many people through your mission already, or you're meant to. This is just an awakening message for somebody that has a purpose. With that, you have a purpose to move forward. You have a purpose to illuminate that to other people that you don't know need that. They don't know that they need that. They don't know how to seek that. They don't know how to speak those things. These unseen things that we speak about spiritually, psychologically, and mentally, you can't really seek that besides a therapist, a psychologist, or you know what I'm saying. I don't even think there's a different word that I'm trying to say, and what they're going to prescribe on you is medication. And what that does is dumb down your interpretation of energy, because it numbs it, and it only gives you these different side effects. And that may help for some people, because some people have very out of control actual mental loopings that were deferred, in terms of like experiences that deferred it to such a point that they may need medication to help stabilize that. I'm not shaming medication. I'm saying if you have the alchemical ability to heal your situation and kind of go within enough and progressively go at that shit and accept your imperfections as it is, you don't need medication, is what I'm saying. With the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, there was some sense of people that may have been a theme. People trying to get you put in those type of institutions. Experiments is what I'm hearing as well. Illegal experiments, hidden experiments. You're revered by many, so you may have gone through a lot of just people trying to like really, I'm getting like people really tested you like a test dummy, like a test rat, like a test animal, like they almost like an object. They saw you as so different from a human that they tested you like an animal, like a different animal. And that's why judgment is probably being rendered for a few people right now. And that's also the shame that's coming up, because that correspondence is what you're feeling in terms of somebody's karmic effect of what they've done. Because if you're rising out of this energy, or if you're awakening out of this energy, that correspondence has got to drop onto the people that, unconsciously or consciously, systematically disrupted this evolution of yours, so to speak, with the devil energy. I think people are awakening to the devil energy they were in regards to you with the bad bitch energy. There's a need, I'm tapping into a lot of women with this message, because it's usually women that are usually tapped in spiritually. Not to say that men aren't, but there's a lot of men that tap into me too. Shout out to y'all. But there's a need to step into your spiritual, nurturing. When I say nurturing your spiritual abilities. Okay, making sure that you're affirming yourself. Okay, making sure you're staying on top of your spiritual hygiene as well as your physical, right? But spiritual hygiene, generational wealth is significant. This is what's going to create your generational wealth. You had a generational wealth over your life. That is that anointing that I speak of with Joseph. In a different generation, that's what his represented. In this generation, that's what whoever I'm tapping into, that's what represents for you. That's going to lead you to your generational wealth, just like it did with Joseph. With the death energy, there's a need to put death to these old cycles of self. With the Six of Pentacles energy, over giving to possibilities or situations that really just stripped you down and took from you. You know what I mean? And that's just a significant message for somebody. As triggering as that may have come off for a few people, Page of Pentacles, this is going to put you back onto that strong, cold vision or that strong sense of self. And it should erupt some type of emotion within you, especially if you're aligning with this message, to go toward what that higher calling is for you with Source, right? With many are manifesting as we speak. I think these are people that have different perspectives of you with the lover's energy that have found some type of love and admiration on a genuine level for you. But you need to use your discernment in terms of some of these people use you as test dummies. Some of these people didn't go that far. Some of these people were really just talking bad about you. Some of these people didn't think you was going to be shit. Some of these people really was doing some, like, I got a lot of people with the that type of organized shit, occult shit. So if they were aware of you, they ain't no telling what the unseen for, like that type of experimentation that people do. Like you know what I'm talking about. Look at the densities as opportunities to transmute and transcend. What I'm getting with that, to step around these obstacles and not even focus on the fact of the matter, is the focus on the fact of the matter is that you got past it and gotten around it, and God's mission over your life has not failed and has not gone void, because it won't, right? You were selected and crowned by your ancestors from the jump, and it's just a confirmation message for somebody, because those corresponding effects, your justice comes through the amount of justice you get, the amount of balancing out you get from this equation comes from how much you rise out and heal out of this situation. That's my message for you guys. Redirecting your energy from any draining situation soaked in negativity. So all these things that are draining and, it'll take your life force, thinking back on these old, things that you've ascended past, and some people are coming to the awareness of what you were going through or what you're going through now, and it's just a need to kind of be able to look at it for what it is and not focus on it too much and not give it too much energy and pay it not too much mind, right? Watch out for temptation. And that's the temptation. You're rising out of this, you're healing out of this, and this is for somebody that is kind of, know that you're enough. Know that you're fine the way that you are. Know that you're perfectly, beautifully designed the way that you are. It's like people, it's always about the different people that people ostracize because they're not fucking different, or they're not finding their differences. And people are different. People are scared to be different. People co-assimilate to be the same, but they're not the same. So that's probably my last message for you guys, to embrace your differences and be unique, and know that you have a higher mission with the Most High God. That's why he made you the way that he made you. It's just like a worthiness thing that was, meant to, that may be somebody's biggest battle, or some of somebody's biggest battles. Worthiness, because people try to attack that with you. People still try to go at that with you because of your differences. But just know that you don't even know how many people you touch and inspire or are meant to with your embracing of self. And that's my last message. If you need a person with me, hit up Shamika Sun with a C and Shamika@gmail.com. And I'm going to get with y'all in the next General Collective. I got some personals to do. It's your boy Justice. Peace out, y'all.